Greetings and salutations, game fans. Firecracker37 here. Don't mind me, just standing on my auto sifter, picking up some resources. Been spending a bunch of time between episodes just farming up some EMC, making sure we had enough to do everything I want to accomplish today. I also upgraded our water mills. We have a lot of them. I didn't even count them, but there's tons of them. We have enough to support up to 1,200 grid power now. And that should hopefully get us through till the late game. Just grab this stuff one more time, and I'm going to go ahead and just turn it off while we're working today. So there's a couple things I would like to accomplish during this episode. I would like to make it so I don't have to walk over there and pick stuff up. I'd like it to be collected automatically so I can just leave it running and never worry about it. I'm also getting tired of trying to double jump and not going in the air. So I think the very first thing we're going to do today is we're going to try and make it so we can fly. This pack offers a good number of different ways to get yourself airborne. I'm going to go with the one from Project E right now, which is Swift Wolf's Reddening Gale. And it's just a ring that you put in your hotbar, and it will let you fly. So we're going to need a few things. We need some dark matter, some feather, and an iron band. The iron band's pretty easy. It's just a bucket around some lava. Let's take care of that. Or some iron ingots around a lava bucket. So let's go ahead and make one of those right now. Just like that. Nope, and we even get our bucket back. How nice. Burn up the bucket, teach the table this, and I guess we can just toss it in there for now. We'll get one when we're ready for it. The feathers are really the only tricky part. We're going to need some chickens. So another thing I did between these episodes is I came over to our old base. And I put down a few grass seeds and also walled it off. So hopefully we'll get some chickens able to spawn in here. But I'm fairly impatient, so there's two things we're going to do to try and help speed this up. There's a nifty item from Extra Utilities called the watering can. And it's basically just an item that you hold, right-click, and it waters plants. It'll speed up tree growth, plant growth, and the speed at which grass and mycelium spread. So we're just going to need 5 pieces of stone for this. Oh, not polished stone, regular stone. And it was 5, right? I'm counting correctly. Nope, just 4. There we go. 4 pieces of stone. And we'll need a wooden bowl, which is made from... Whoops, not planks. It's made from planks. And I'm actually going to check, because some packs change it... Okay, some packs have changed it so the bowl is made with slabs instead of planks, but... This one is not one of them. Throw those extra bowls in there because we do not need them. And bam, we have a watering can. And it completes a quest. Hey, we should check that quest book here later this episode. We might have some neat rewards in there. So you should just take your water bucket, or your watering can, hold right click while you're pointing at a water source block, and you'll see that it slowly fills up with the damage bar there. And we can just water some grass here. And as you see, it spreads very, very quickly. And after barely any time at all, we have our entire dirt covered with grass, and it looks beautiful, if I do say so myself. So now we just need to get out of here so that maybe a chicken will spawn. But I think we're going to do something to try and help that out. We have a mod called Excompressium, and while a lot of the things it adds have been disabled in this pack, one of the things that's still there is we can make chicken bait. And all it is just 2 seeds next to each other. I think we can handle that. So there, now we have some chicken bait, and I'm not going to even teach it to our table, because we'll probably never need it again. Now, if we come over here, and it has to be placed next to water. So as you see, you put it next to the water on the grass, and this bait will work in this environment. Move out of range so you don't scare the animals away. So now we just have to come way back here, and we should have a chicken in just a moment. Why, hello there, little guy. Mr. Chicken Friend. Now, I think you might have the ability to shed feathers. But I'm not sure. I wonder if we can take some ingots here. Some iron ingots to be more specific. Make some shears. Can we shear a chicken? That's a thing sometimes. Why, yes it is. Thank you for your feather, Mr. Chicken. You will always be remembered. Yes. Goodbye. Now, I suppose I should have waited for an egg too, but nah. We can get an egg later. Let's come over here. Let's teach our table how to make these feathers. Let's also teach it how to make some raw chicken that we are then going to pop into our furnace and get it cooking up so we can learn how to make cooked chicken. And let's make our ring. We need... Ooh, we're so close on the EMC. Let's get a whole stack of charcoal here, and I bet you there's a little bit of EMC sitting in this guy right here. Look at that, 32,000 and 27,000. With any luck, that'll be enough to get us what we are trying to build. There we go, our 4th piece of dark matter. Now we're just going to need an iron band. Four feathers. And we can now make Swiftwolf's Rending Gale. Now there's a few things that have to happen in order for this item to work. First of all, it has to be in your hotbar. If you're in the air and you take it out of your hotbar, you will plummet to your death. The other thing, as you see we're not flying, is it uses EMC for fuel. So we're going to have to find a way to get some EMC into our inventory so that it has something to fuel itself off of. Thankfully, this mod pack, or the mod Project E to be more precise, adds in these things called Klein stars, if I can spell. And Klein stars are basically just a wand that can hold EMC. So all we need is 1 diamond and 8 Mobius fuel. Oh, I thought maybe there would be a diamond in there, but no such luck. So 1 diamond and 8 Mobius fuel later. We can make ourselves our very first Klein star. And we get the achievement EMC batteries, because that's exactly what it is. Now, if you look here, it says stored EMC 0. And if you look in our table, it says EMC 8,217. Also noticed how this is worth 24,576 EMC. If we put it in the slot here, not only is our table going to learn it, but it's going to soak up all of the EMC that it has room for from the table. And if you look now, our Klein stars were 32,793. So we could just toss it back in here and go back to crafting. But since we actually need it to be able to fly, we'll just pull it back out. And now, if I double jump, you'll see I am gracefully flying through the air. It's 100% creative flight. The only limitation, as I said, is if you run out of EMC in your inventory, you will fall and crash. Pretty sure it even makes you immune to fall damage. It does, thankfully, since I'd probably have been high enough to kill me. Now I'm going to sleep through the night here. And we're going to get ready to finish automating, or at least improve the automation around our auto sifter. In order to automate our sifting, we're going to need to bone meal some grass to start. And I kind of want to break one piece of this to get it in my inventory. And hey, we got both red and yellow flowers off the bat. That's awesome. So let's just finish breaking this up. And let's teach our table how to make the grass, how to make a red flower, yellow flower. Ooh, we got a grass seed as well. We'll just throw that in here. And then we'll turn these guys into red and yellow dye. Teach our table how to make these things. We'll take one piece, or I should just look this up before I mess up. We need to make some floral fertilizer from Botania. And it looks like we need 2 yellows, 2 reds, and 1 piece of bone meal. So there we go. We've got some floral fertilizer that we can now teach our table how to make. And we'll just get a stack of it in our inventory. Now when you use this on grass, it makes mystical flowers from Botania, which is the main resource you use to make the items from Botania. So we're just going to run around, we're going to spam some of this down and make lots of pretty flowers that we can collect. We'll also be able to automate this in the future, should we decide we need to, because these flowers do not have an EMC value. Alright, and that is probably enough. So let's just pick all these guys up here. Try not to break the torches in the process. Oh, I also happen to know we're going to need some paper here in the near future. So we have some sugarcane seeds here. I think we can plant them on grass. Indeed. So there we've got some sugarcane that we can also teach to our table. Like so. And I think I lost a piece of it in here. And the mess is all cleaned up. I've got all sorts of flowers here in my chest. We're going to need 1 flower. I happen to know we won't use very many pink ones, so we'll use it first here. And we need to make an item called the Puddle Apothecary. It's very simple. It is a mystical flower petal of any color, 2 cobblestone slabs, and then 4 pieces of cobblestone. Each mystical flower in a crafting table by itself turns into 2 petals. So we need some cobblestone. Oh, no, we don't. We've got a whole bunch of it in our inventory. So let's just make up some slabs. And there we go, our very first Puddle Apothecary. Now you have to fill this guy up with water, so we're going to stick him over there. And we'll grab a bucket. And I happen to know we're also going to need some plain old vanilla seeds. And some white flowers. So to craft in this, you can either directly click on it with a bucket, or if you just drop a bucket on top of it, it'll fill up, which helps with some automation if you decide that's something you need to do. And to craft in it, you just throw in what you need. So for this one, we need 4 mystical white flower petals. And then you throw in a seed to complete it. There we go, and we have our first 2 flowers from Botania. They are the pure daisy. Now we're just going to put these things right here like that. And then if we take some stone, just plain old stone, and any sort of log, and you just surround the flower. There's a whole bunch of other things this thing can craft, but the 2 important ones are living wood and livingstone. And it takes about a minute, and it'll transform for us. And there we go. You can kind of see the wood there changing. I don't know if I hit record in time to grab the rock. And just grab an axe here. And we can get rid of that bucket for now. So nifty. We'll just come around here and grab ourselves some living rock. And living wood. And these are the stone and wood variants that you're going to use for most of your crafting in Botania. And the resource, the energy, if you will, is called mana. And we're going to need a mana pool to store that mana in. We're also going to need 1 golden ingot. And you'll just take 6 of those guys. Gold ingot, a mystical flower petal, and you'll get a mana spreader, which is the cable, so to speak, that will send your mana around. Now the next thing we're going to need is a way to generate this mana. And for that, we're going to use a pretty plain old furnace type system called the Endoflame. And that's just made with 2 brown petals, a red petal, and a mystical light gray petal. So brown, light gray, and red. So we should be able to make 8 flowers with these guys. Oh, and you know what? I threw that bucket away and I wasn't quite done with it. Thankfully, we can just get another one. I actually want to change the way these are on my hotbar, and you'll see why in just one moment. So we'll put our water in there. We'll drop 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then we'll fill it up. And if you go over it and hit shift right click with an empty hand, well, it's supposed to. Maybe it doesn't work in this version. Yeah, well, you're supposed to be able to just add the recipe again. Yep, doesn't seem to work. So I guess I'm glad we're only making 8 flowers. There's been times I've had to make a stack of a specific flower, and this would have been a painful way to go about doing so. While I'm doing this menial task, I'd like to talk for just a moment. I've only been making YouTube videos for about a month now. I'm still very new to it. And I've felt with this series so far that I've had a lot of boring time in my content where I shouldn't have even been recording, but I was, because I wanted to make it easier to edit and not have to put a whole bunch of clips together. But I'm not happy with the way those videos have been coming. So if you've stuck through me for the first 4 or so episodes of this series, or stuck with me through the first 4 or so episodes of this series. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad to have you here. And I'd like to let you know that from this point forward, I intend to make a lot more cuts in my content to get rid of boring pieces of material. So that hopefully we stay more engaged and entertained. And I really didn't want to put these guys down yet. So let's pick them up, and I actually want to get another set of stone and another set of wood going. But anyways, yeah, if you found my stuff boring before this, please know I'm changing it. I'm learning a lot as I go about doing this. You know, I'm thankful that I have the time to be able to devote to what I'm doing. I've wanted to be a YouTuber since I first started watching Let's Plays, you know, several years ago, many years ago, maybe even. So I am just happy to be here and be doing what I'm doing. Alright, and our first mana pool, we're going to just put it down right there. And the mana spreader, we want it to shoot into the mana pool there. Right behind it, we're going to put our 8 endo flames in a square pattern like this. And now we need our next item from Botania. This is one of my favorite things to make. We're going to take a blue and a black flower and turn them into petals. We'll come get our living wood and living stone here because we don't quite have enough wood for making this. Alright, and your living wood here, if you put 1 in there, you'll see you can turn it into 4 planks. While those do have some crafting utilities, they're also a very nice looking building block. Vasky, the author of Botania, loves aesthetic building blocks, so his mods have tons and tons of different aesthetic blocks. So we're going to need a living wood twig, and we actually need 3 of them. Put them in a pattern like this, and then the toughest decision in all of this mod is you get to pick 2 flower petals to put on either side of those 3 sticks, and they actually render onto your Wand of the Forest, which is the wrench of this mod. I use a lot of technical terms when talking about Botania, because even though Botania is kind of a magic mod, it's really a magical tech mod. Functions very much like a tech mod. Now if you see, when we're hovering over these flowers, it's highlighting that mana spreader in the funny color, and if you look at the mana spreader, it highlights the mana pool. What this means is it's showing that these endo flames have the capability to transfer the mana they produce into this mana spreader, and then this mana spreader is going to shoot the mana into this mana pool. And the mana pool is going to hold it until we are ready for it. So we're just going to grab some good old-fashioned charcoal here. And I'm just going to make, some stacks of 8 out of it. And then we'll come stand on top of our mana spreader. We'll throw down 8 pieces of charcoal, and pretty quick, each of those flowers should suck it up and start burning it. And then our mana is being shot into the mana pool. Nifty. So I'm just going to let these guys generate some mana and maybe work on getting some more EMC, and we'll come back for the next part of the build. I forgot to mention that just like a furnace, the higher burn time of an item you throw at them, the longer they're going to burn for. And we don't have that JEI plugin, do we? Nope. So if we take this red coal and throw it in, they're just going to burn a lot longer, and I don't have to babysit them quite as much. They'll shoot a ton of mana into this mana pool. As you see by right-clicking on it, we're getting just a little tiny bit of the bar full there at the bottom. So let's get that more full. Well, while it may not look like much, this mana pool is starting to fill up, and they do hold an awful lot of mana, so it would be no surprise if I've even added 8 more red coal since they finished last time, so we're not going to end up too much from all of this. So the next thing we need to do to craft is we need to take an ender pearl, and if you see it's got a little check mark there, means if we throw an ender pearl in there, it's going to change it into a mana pearl. This is one of the ways you craft with Botania. The 2 other items we're going to need is if you take some redstone, gunpowder, or glowstone, and you throw it in there, you get an item called mana powder. And we also need to take an iron ingot and throw it in there and get what's called mana steel. Now we just need to craft some stuff up. We're going to need 1 more mana spreader, so let's make that really quick. And then we need an item called the runic altar. And what this does is it is the next step of crafting from Botania. The runic altar works by taking mana and infusing it into a set of items to create a brand new item. For the item we want today, we're going to need a rune of air, yes. Oh, we also need a carpet, so we need to take a couple wool. Slap them together here to get some carpet. Our inventory is getting full, so we're just going to jam that in there. So now if we come over here and we take the items that it shows floating around it in the thing here. 1 string, 1 feather, 1 carpet, 1 mana steel, 1 mana powder. So we're just going to click all of this stuff around the altar. And then it makes that noise and it starts shooting mana at it. And you can see the little progress bar there to the right filling up as the altar gets as much mana as it needs to do the craft. And then it shows a little piece of living rock and our Wand of the Forest icon on there. So we're just going to take a piece of living rock, drop it on top, and then smack it with our Wand of the Forest. And as you see, we've got 2 runes of air now, which is awesome. The other thing we're going to need is redstone root. Redstone root basically means that a flower can be affected by redstone in some fashion or another. With this one, I believe it turns off the flower when it receives redstone. So we're going to craft this flower up here by taking 2 grays, 2 light grays, 1 rune of earth, 1 redstone root, topping a seed off, and that gives us a plant called the hopper hawk. And as you can probably imagine by the name, the hopper hawk functions a lot like a hopper. So now if we come over here, and we'll put a piece of dirt right here. And actually, no, we won't. We're going to move it just a little bit. And we'll stick it right here. We'll put the hopper hawk on top. We'll take just a normal old chest and we'll stick it adjacent so that they're touching. Unfortunately, I don't believe that it'll be able to put it into our matter condensers or alchemical chests or anything, so we're just going to use a plain old vanilla chest. And let's see what happens when we turn on this guy. So as you see, he's processing stuff, and it is dropping, and then pretty quickly disappearing. Now, it doesn't look like it's doing anything for the XP. Let's get out of here so that the hopper hawk will do his job. But now we have a way to automatically pick up those drops. We don't have to worry about them despawning or anything like that. So we're able to fly now. We've gotten a nice grass path. We've started up on some Botania. We've further automated our sieving process, although there's still more to go. And we have more grid power. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment for one episode. So come back next time. We're going to finish automating this system here and start on something new and exciting. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video you just seen, please remember to click that like button down below. It helps me out a great deal. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications when I upload new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.